Hola Galeras. So, every day I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. My cats want to eat, so we get up, read books, I stretch. I eventually go back to sleep. But at some point in time, particularly on a Monday, I make myself something to eat. I film the show. It's good. It's become my routine. You want to see what I'm eating? So today I made a sweet potato, onions, jalapenos, peppers, and veggie sausage. And then I did sour cream and I did cheese. It's actually really, really healthy. And then I've got this new Cherry Oblivion by Liquid Death. It's just kind of like a cherry soda without the sugar. I mean, all in all, it's actually quite interesting. I'm trying to figure out like nice meals I can do that'll feed me well, but also won't make me spike. Sweet potatoes are like really, really good about that. And everything else goes really well. For breakfast, I tried to take the sweet potatoes and make them into like a waffle shape with a waffle maker. If you were to do like a French fry, kind of like a mashed potato fry thing. But there's a lot of things that go into that I had forgotten about. The funny thing is, like, I used to be a cook in a restaurant, so I know how to do all these things as far as how you do them. Typically, you chop them up and then you put something on them. Typically, it's like potato starch or something of that nature. And then you flash fry them. So I don't know why I thought the waffle maker would work the way it does. If I made it into a batter, I could probably do that, but that's a lot of work. I don't want to do all that. My day, for the most part, consists of trying to catch up on sleep, trying to figure out the print stuff as far as making them and promoting them, figuring out what I need and what I don't need from the studio anymore, and maybe getting rid of some of that stuff. As the move is coming up, I ran into a friend of mine at the grocery store, and he lives here in the building. And he asked what their tax strategy was, and I told him, I was like, I'm done, man. I'm just done. I think that caught him off guard. I think people have this concept in their minds that, like, we always just fight forever. And there's a certain point where you kind of realize, like, fighting back against people trying to take your home, essentially, stops being worth it at a certain point. Not fighting back, but just on the whole aspect of trying to stop them completely and stay just hasn't really worked out for me. So now we're gonna go. Eventually we're gonna have like a big place, have a designated actual studio, all these things. So I'm a little worried that, I'm not going to be able to do the Painter's Breakfast show in the same regard that I have. Like, it'll always be around. But I'm a little scared that it's not going to be what it once was. It'll be it'll just change. It'll never stop, like I said. But I'm a little nervous. These things will come together. I realize it. For those asking, this is a book about James Baldwin. He's an American writer. He's incredible. And I've read a lot of Baldwin books, but I've never read books about James Baldwin from somebody else's perspective of who knew James Baldwin. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. It tells a lot of historical fact, but it also tells it from like the perspective of the author and how everything kind of came together. And it goes up to about now in history. From about then, 64 to now. So I'm enjoying the read. I got a lot of different books that I'm reading at the same time, which is always kind of interesting and strange. So we got Dune. We got Begin Again. And currently we have Gabby, Juliet Takes a Breath. And I'm also reading a copy of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which some of you might know is a movie that a lot of people saw with Jack Nicholson, but there's also a book. So I picked it up a couple days ago. So I'm reading it. It's interesting, very interesting. Tom's running around doing something he's not supposed to do, so I'm gonna go see what that is. But yeah, so we go.